Hey guys, this is John Wiehn, attorney and senior legal instructor with Blue to Gold Law Enforcement Training, coming to you today with another roadside chat. Today's question comes from an officer in Nebraska, and the question is this: can a subject be arrested for obstruction if they, although they are not the subject of an investigation, start yelling things to the subject of the investigation, like don't tell them anything, don't perform those standardized field sobriety tests? Can that person be arrested for obstruction? And really the question is going to be very state specific based on your obstruction statute. I want to put a word of caution out there, guys. It seems a lot of times law enforcement officers rely on obstruction as kind of a catch-all. And you must be very careful. You must be very familiar with the language of your state-specific statute before you arrest someone for obstruction, this kind of interference with police activities. Okay? All right. And so in Nebraska, let's talk about this, right? Nebraska specifically, Nebraska Revised Statute 28-906. The elements of this statute, which, again, your state may have something similar. Defendant intentionally obstructed, impaired, or hindered either a police officer, judge, or police animal assisting a police officer. At the time the defendant did so, the peace officer was acting under color of his or her official authority to enforce the penal law or preserve the peace. And the defendant did so by using or threatening to use either violence, force, physical interference, or obstacle. And so under that statute, that would not qualify as obstruction in Nebraska. Merely telling the subject of your investigation, don't tell them anything, or don't perform those standardized field sobriety tests, would not constitute a violation of Nebraska Revised Statute 28-9061. However, under the Supreme Court of Nebraska case Waldron versus Roark, check the comments for case sites here, it arguably would constitute a violation of Nebraska Revised Statute 28-901. That is the crime of obstructing governmental operations. Obstructed, impaired, or perverted the administration of law or other governmental function, and the subject intended to do so. So be aware, right? You might have this kind of obstruction with physical violence, with physical action, that kind of resistance, or you might have an interference with governmental operations, kind of a more general statute. So in the case where one has an element requiring physical obstruction, that would not qualify. However, if there is a more general statute that just talks about interfering with governmental operations, it may apply. However, it's going to be very state specific, and so we must be very careful before we start arresting people for some kind of a general obstruction statute if they are doing no more than just taking your focus away from what it is you are trying to do. If you guys are interested in more, please go to bluetogold.com, and see if we have any emerging legal trends courses coming up in your area. In that class, we talk about cops and cameras, an element, First Amendment auditors, right? A lot of factors at play there. So please do take that emerging legal trends class or sign up for one of our cops and cameras webinars. bluetogold.com. If you have any additional questions, bluetogold.com/show, bluetogold.com/show. Be sure to check out our course catalog, our upcoming course calendar. See if we have any classes near you. If we don't and you are interested in hosting, please reach out and let us know of your agency's interest. Bring Blue to Gold to you so that we can help you and all of your officers to get it right every time. Until next time, this is John Wiehn with Blue to Gold Law Enforcement Training, telling you to be safe, and I hope to see you at a training in the future soon.